Hey guys, thought I would give you an update on my three sisters' garden. Unfortunately, it's a little windy out here right now, so if you hear the wind noise, I apologize. But I did get the three sisters planted, finally. I've got corn and beans and squash. Now, I was running so late, I didn't have time for the corn to get up knee-high before I planted vining green beans, so I planted bush beans instead because they won't tear down the corn. So I managed to, in that everywhere you see a little white stick is either a corn seed or a squash seed or a bean seed. I put those little sticks right there so that I'll know that it's one of my plants growing if I go to weed it until they get up and established. Once they get up and I can identify them, we're good, then I'll take the little sticks out. But they're just there to mark the spot. Now right there, I had some plants that I had bought a while back, and they were really leggy, and I should have got them planted a month ago. They were in those little pots from the store. And so I've got the first two farthest mounds are watermelon. The next two middle mounds are cantaloupe, and then this one on the very end right here is another yellow squash. Now, the watermelon had 2 and 3 plants per pot. The cantaloupe, one of them had like 3 and one of them has 2. And then there's only one of this little squash because that was actually one that I took out. I separated it when I planted them other 2 squash. Now, I'm still working on this end, but it's come a long way. Now right here, I've got some Chantenay red core carrots that I planted today. And right next to it in the lower one is white Lisbon bunching onions. And let me get up. What I'm doing is I'm sifting compost and I'm sifting dirt and I'm sifting them together so that I can put some humus in the soil, because mostly it's sand. It's like a sandy loam, but it's heavy on the sand and it's got some clay in it. So I wanted to put the sifted compost in there to loosen up the soil a little bit, because I didn't want it packing down on my stuff. Now right here is 2 trays of purple onions. Now these are really late to be planted. I don't know if they're going to do anything because, you know, they go on how many hours of sunlight a day as to when they bulb. So they're super late planted again. We'll see if they do. My red potatoes have not sprouted, the ones that I got from the store so far. Now my seed potatoes that I got, the Yukon Gold, have sprouted good, and so has these. And the white Gold Rush, this side doesn't seem to be doing as well as the other side, but we do have another one sprouting up, coming up right there. So, and then here's some more. Now these are the mixed ones. These are the ones I didn't know if they were Yukon Gold or Gold Rush, so they just got all mixed up together. So this one's doing real good. I added a little compost to that one yesterday. It seemed like I should. So I did. Now here's my 4 o'clocks. Those are coming up really well. And here's a fig tree. Now my marigolds doesn't seem to have done anything. I had planted some white Eskimo marigolds, and anyway, I think one of them sprouted and then something ate it. But anyway, here's my straight neck squash. It's heirloom squash. And it's got some blooms starting on it. And so is this one. This is my grapevines. I'm really liking these grapevines. They're doing pretty good. Now the English daisies, I don't know if these are English daisies or just weeds coming up. I guess I have to wait till they get a little bigger to find out for sure. And then there's another fig. Maybe English daisies, I don't know. But now my rhubarb never sprouted. Neither one of them. So that's probably going to be a bust. Now over here, I'm going to plant, right here I'm sifting the dirt out real good to get roots and rocks and different things out of it. And what I do is, see where it's deepest, I'll put a layer of rabbit poop down, and then I'll sift dirt on top of it. And then once I get my plants planted, I'll put a layer of compost over the top of that. What's going here is my, God, I drew a blank. Oh my gosh. My artichokes. I've got 2 or 3 plants over there that actually sprouted, so I'm going to plant those here. This is extra dirt that I had pulled out of there. So anyway, I've still got to get all the weeds and grass out of this spot, but I've got most of this done. And if you guys remember that first video, it was really wild looking. And here's my okra. My okra's all sprouted good. My elderberries have not sprouted. I don't think. Maybe that is an elderberry. We'll see if they grow a little bigger. There's some little tiny sprouts in there. That might be them. I don't know. My chocolate mint has not sprouted. I don't know if that is a chocolate mint or not. We'll find out when it gets a little bigger, when it gets true leaves. But I've had 2 of my artichokes sprout so far. So hopefully I'll get at least 1 more. I planted 5 because they sometimes don't want to sprout good, so we'll give them a shot. Hey, 2 artichoke plants will probably put out more artichokes than I could eat anyway. So, but how I've got it planted is in a circle where the little white sticks are here. I've got the corn. There's nothing in the middle except a little tag that says what it is. And then on this side, all the way up, right close, I've got green beans. And the same on this side, green beans. And then there's nothing in the middle here. And then in between each one of these circles, like right there, I've got different types of squash. I got acorn squash in between all of these. And I've got butternut squash in between all of these. And it's a lot of squash. And then I've got my zucchini just over there. But here's another straight neck yellow squash. And then here is cantaloupe. And this one was 3 of them in one. I didn't separate them out. I just planted them as were. And here's watermelon. And more watermelon. And these things were pretty bad looking yesterday. They're starting to perk up a little. So, but I got 3 seeds planted in each one of these hills with the zucchini. So, see, here's all the roots and stuff I've been digging out. And then you see, there's a pile out there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. That is mostly roots with just a couple of loads of leaves. Oh, goodness. Anyway, tell me what you think, guys. This has been a heck of a project for me to do by myself. And I have had to do it by myself. I haven't had any help. I knew nobody would help me. So it's taking me longer to get things done than I wanted. But I will have the opportunity for a fall garden, because by then I'll have even more done by the time it's time to plant for fall, which gives me a couple of months. And I've got quite a few things I want to plant for fall, like cabbage and broccoli and a little bit later I got some lettuces I want to plant, romaine lettuce. And I still got to put in, I want to put in a bigger crop of carrots, but I want to see how these sprout first, because some people say carrots are really hard to grow. I've never grown them, so I don't know. So I figure we'll start with this one and see how they do. I do know that you have to keep them very moist until they sprout. That I do know. So for tomorrow, I mean, this is soaked right now, but tomorrow what I'll end up doing is cutting a piece of cardboard the size of this container, and I'll water it really good, and I'll throw the cardboard down on it to keep the sun out of it and keep it moister until they sprout, until they start coming up. And then I'll take the cardboard off immediately. So I hope my little green onions come on up, because you can pick those, you know, they're just like long skinny onions you eat with your dinner. I like those. So if the other onions don't do well, the bulbing onions, what I'll do is I'll end up harvesting them early as much as I can. I'll use what I can, and then I'll take all the tops before they die back, and I'll cut them down, and I'll chop them up to make almost like chives. But I do have some chives that I got to get planted still, but I was told that they come back every year, and so wherever I plant the chives, I need to make sure that it's in an out-of-the-way spot that's still easy to get to, that I don't have to worry about digging them up, because I want them, if they're going to be coming back, I want to have a nice permanent spot for them. It's like the artichokes. They're supposed to come back for several years, so I wanted them not in the middle of the garden. Okay, so I put those along the fence. Same with the grapevines and the fig trees. And I'm going to do the same with the rhubarb if I ever get it to sprout. If not, I'll try it again next spring. Maybe I just got a bad batch of rhubarb. I don't know. I bought that rhubarb in Tennessee, and it had to hang out in that bag for quite a while before I got it planted, so it maybe just it was in there too long, and it was my fault. So if that's the case, I'll just try it again next spring. See if I can't get me some rhubarb. I also, next spring, I want to have a place fixed up for a strawberry bed. And I'm thinking over there about where that stump is. See that big stump right there? I'm thinking if I can make myself a strawberry bed right there, I'd be real happy with that. So, anyway, we're just working on it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friend, hit the thumbs up, and all that kind of good stuff, and y'all come back to see me.